All right, we are back with more liminal things. So I got this just sent to me. It's a subgenre of liminal spaces. If you can recall from the last video, liminal spaces are like that empty... Actually, I'll just reread that real quick. I have it on here. So this is a continuation, kind of the last video. It's a subgenre of what the last video was about. So the last video was liminal spaces. It's a physical or psychological in-between zone. The term comes from the Latin word limen, meaning threshold. In photography and internet culture, it refers to transitional locations, such as an empty hallway, abandoned malls, or airport terminals, that feel nostalgic yet eerily unsettling when devoid of the usual crowds. All right, so we did those creepy photos last time of the snow one was sick, that had the little corner area that was really cool. But the one with the big angel was freaky, and then the one with the water that was, I'm talking about the water that was. What is that? The fuck is that? But yeah, it's like a desolate, eerie, solo, by yourself, scary, water, big angel, very scary. So this is a subgenre of that. It's called liminal horror. And this is what it is. Ready? Liminal horror is a subgenre that derives terror from liminal spaces, transitional environments like empty malls, airports, or quiet parking lots. Terrified of those. It triggers unease by placing you in a familiar but abandoned setting. Familiarity, emptiness, and the psychological dread of being in a space that's in between. Purgatory. Basically, purgatory is what we're talking about here. I don't understand. What? That's Paint Street. Is it a dump truck? Like, what is it? I don't understand. That's them dragging trash out. All right, I'm just going to have to keep going. So, yeah. Big scary. Big scary. All right, so let's dive into these. I'm assuming these are going to be photos like last time. So, let's go. Here we go. Yeah, that's real creepy. This is like a... So, what it looks like to me is like the big... Like a left sealed off basement. Like in this old downtown, like small town... historical buildings like that our studio is actually in. A lot of these places have these basements that have been basically paved over, and they're like blocked off from you being able to get into them. Some people either found another entryway into them, or like they had broke into them before, and they have this kind of vibe. So it's like clearly that it's finished to where it's not like a raw, there's nothing there, like sealed over windows and piping and wiring and shit that's just been left. This is what this reminds me of. But the only thing creepier about it than that is like there's water, of course, freaks me out. I don't like water at all. But it looks like there's water. It's what I think that is. It's like water that's up a little bit, and it's like a big long doorway that freaks me out that you can't really see in. This freaks me out. This one is very, very creepy because of the sealed off windows. So this reminds me of something that would be like, I'm sealed in here and I'm going to die. I'm dead. I'm done. I'm by myself, starved to death. Yeah, here we go. All right. So this obviously is like kind of like an abandoned, either under a bridge or like a parking garage. Having those three like shop lights, like those like bar lights illuminating like this nothing. This creeps me out. I would love to take photos somewhere like this, but just be there for a little bit and take off running. It creeps me out. This is not as bad as the last one, because in my head I'm thinking like there's open space. It might be empty, but it's open. Creepy though. Yeah, let's move on. That one's creepy. I like it though. Okay, this one's real creepy. I don't like this at all. This actually, when we leave our studio, our hallway looks like that, leaving to the outside. So this is kind of creepy, very familiar. Yeah, this is another one of those like transitional. Yeah, I guess that's what it's supposed to be. It's like a transitional location from point A to point B. This gives me the creeps. I always see stuff like this, like either whether it's like a drawn photo or something like that, or like in a movie, and I'm just like, okay, I need to get to the end, or like if there's a door that's shut, I need to get out there because there's going to be light on the other end of that, or if this is just pitch black throughout the rest of the way and you can only see like a little bit of light through it, it's always like I'm just waiting for those lights to cut out and something just come running at me, just run full force at me. And it's so like narrow, claustrophobic. Don't like that at all. Will freak out. This one's freakier than any of them because it looks like an old school. And at that, it kind of has a little bit of vibe of what my old high school looked like. I'm old, a little bit old. Different colors though. This gives me a weird anxiety feeling anyway, just because it has to do with school. And for some reason, I still have those like dreams that I'm still in high school. It's so stupid, but I have them. But this is very weird just because, again, like the last group of photos that we did where it has that bend going to another place. You don't know if something's going to come around that corner or run at you. That's this one's a little bit like it's not as bad, I feel like, because I feel more familiar than like a desolate hallway somewhere. This is a little bit warmer in color tone. So that automatically makes me feel a little bit better, but also kind of familiar because it looks like my old high school. But I do get the weirdness about it, the creepy behind it. It'd be even creepier if like I like went to sleep tonight and I woke up, or I had a dream that I was now in that space. That would freak me out more than anything because it is so familiar. Did its job, I guess, because it is something that I would see whenever I was younger. I don't know a whole lot about back rooms. I know it's a thing, and I know it's like its own type of horror, and I get the understanding of what it is. This does give me the creeps because it kind of looks like an old office building. I remember in the 90s, like when I was a kid, like in the early 90s, like I remember office buildings kind of looking like this with like the those lights that are like that. I don't even know what the term is for. I should know because I'm a videographer and photographer, but it's creepy because there's nothing in there. It's like a maze, you know what I mean? You're just kind of just walking around, and you know what it reminds me of? Going into those damn cabins in the Friday the 13th video game from Nintendo, and you just keep going and you go, and you just get to the point you're running in circles, and you just can't figure out how to get the hell out of these things. Someone give me a lighter. I'm gonna burn this place down. This creeps me out because of, so hear me out. This is going to sound weird, but hear me out. I made the statement on the underpass parking garage photo that we did earlier, where the comfort of that is knowing that there's outside space from that blackened area. Like, you know, there's probably open space, whereas this has the opposite effect. This gives me anxiety because it's too open. It's a narrow road with just open. In my head, you know what it reminds me of? I think it was like one of the Jurassic Parks, where like the raptors are like just picking people off in this field. That's what that reminds me of. Like I'm going to turn, and I'm just going to see these things just running in the field. Or, true story, this is not a lie, this is a 100% true story. I was driving super late at night. It was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was on the western side of Chillicothe, and I was passing the Armory, and there was I swear to God, I had left this, I pulled out of this road that is on that side of town that is like windy, foresty, creepy in itself, but there's an Armory. I believe it's the Armory. That has something to do with like military stuff. Anyway, but it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and there's one light there was like a light post with a light, and there was just one light, and it was in the yard of this place, and there was just a guy standing there. Swear to God, it was wearing like just a long jacket, almost looked like a trench coat, but he was just standing there wearing a trench coat. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't know why he was there, but I'll never forget that. Freaked me out. I was like in my early 20s. It was either early 20s or I was a teenager. One of the two, but I was young enough to be like, what the dude? That really happened, by the way. Okay, so this is right up my alley. This looks like an abandoned house, or like an old abandoned, like the old school hotels where they just kind of left it as it is. So think about like walking down this and knowing that there's all these doors, and the doors are all open. So like the surprise of a door opening is not even there to be able to warn you if something was to jump out. This freaks me out because it's like ghost hunting kind of thing. Creepy. We used to have a hotel on the road that we grew up on, and I always wanted to go in there because people would break in there. But that's what this reminds me of, is like I always heard stories about it, and they'd party in it. But this is what it reminds me of, like some old abandoned house, or like a really, really big house that just got left, and they left like the paint job and everything, all that stuff like that. Very creepy. Like every car is so loud. Like every vehicle is so loud. Does anybody drive a car that's like a normal car? It's like either a really shitty muffler and then there's an ice cream truck. But it's non-stop. Anyway, yeah, so this is like ghost hunting kind of thing. Freaks me out. I've seen a lot of buildings like this. We used to just kind of like go into places like this all the time. But that's what it reminds me of, is definitely like old hotel or like just like an old house that has just been left as is. And like you could picture like the rooms, like maybe you go in one of the rooms and it's just kind of like left how it was the last time it was touched. It's like a bed that's like made, or like the dolls and that is just, yeah, that's freaky. That's what that reminds me of. All right, so this one, clearly like an abandoned mall. The thing that freaks me out about this, the way they do, and I mentioned this in the video with the angel that I've been talking about over and over again because it's oversized, like a statue or whatever that was. These have these like giant oversized like balls that look like clown noses. That freaks me out. The other part of it, like the other stuff in it, not so much, just because I don't even really know what it is. Maybe like the basement of a mall or like a movie theater that looks like, when you zoom in, it looks like maybe like a concession stand or something that's there. But I mean, I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I hate it. I hate every bit of it. Yeah, let's move on. That's kind of weird. And of course, yeah, let's do a train track with this giant two-headed thing in it, just standing on it. This is very much Southern Ohio right here. Not so much the giant two-headed guy. That's a little bit stretched, but graffiti under a bridge with like the train tracks going like on an underpass here. Underpass? Viaduct? Is that what they're called? I don't know. Anyway, the thing that creeps me out about the way that this photo is set up is that you're in the shadows. You can see the light beyond whatever this figure is, but the shadows are what freaks me out about it. I've been under a lot of these type of things, taking photos, going like train tracks, blah, 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 all that stuff. So like this is extremely familiar to me. I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine just you're walking and you're just like, I'm gonna just walk. I'm gonna go these train tracks, and you go around a bend. You're going around a bend, and on the other side of that bend is just this giant two-headed man. And he's just hanging out, maybe smoking cigarettes. Still freaky. Like, anything that's oversized like that gives me the creeps. Every single time. There's no doubt about it in my mind that it's a thing. I have a phobia. There's a phobia. It's a thing. But whatever it's called, I have it. I don't know. It's been nothing but noises outside today. We're going to have to start shooting at night because it's impossible. Okay, yeah, this is weird because of how wide and open this one. There's a lot of office scenes when it comes to this stuff. I've noticed that. Really big, like, office chair. I need an office chair. Maybe I can borrow it. It's like those big giant, like, they're not lawn chairs. What are they? They're like the big beach chairs that they have outside of like resort, like goofy fun, like Dirty Dicks. Ugh, I got crabs at Joe Shack or whatever the f- it's called. And people get pictures. They sit in this big giant getting pictures. That's what that reminds me of. Be like, it's like for nerds though. That's what nerds do. I got my office supplies at Big Dick's Stapler Center, and they're sitting there in this little big old office chair. That's what that looks like. That gives me creeps simply because it's like facing the wall, and I believe in giants, so I don't like that at all. Empty, super empty. There's no doorways. It's just those two illuminating lights above. Don't like it at all. All right, so this looks like, I can't tell what this is. This looks it's like a hallway to maybe another school, or like maybe like an old clinic. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Maybe like, that's creepy. I don't like the different like lighting temperatures. It makes me feel like I want to have a seizure. This is some like old Windows 95 sleep screen. You know what I'm talking about? Save screen or whatever they're called. Screensavers. It's like a dream world with all these stairs. I don't like that simply because that's a lot of it's a lot of stairs. I ain't walking up. But very Matrixy, very Beetlejuice, very like, legitimately not one car has a muffler in this town.